Hello and welcome everyone. Hey, good to have you, Grim, as always. How you doing today? It's warm as hell here. It went from like 20 degrees to like fucking 70. Ooh, I know you used to stream, right? I was looking at your Twitch channel the other day. I think the last time you streamed like a few years ago. I think that'd be pretty cool. You don't really see many people in this community doing stuff related to like actual physical craft. So today at work, I've been playing Warhammer. Ooh, dude, they had me doing so much shit at work, and then they cut everyone's hours. Apparently, my store cuts a lot of hours around the holiday season, which is the opposite of what I'm used to. I'm used to places giving you so many extra hours. But it was a busy day and it was rainy, and when I got out of work it was bright and sunny and it looked like it never even like dropped an ounce of rain if you looked at the clouds or at the sky. But yeah, I wanted to do a little stream where I work on the Goldeneye Editor because I have just been putting this shit off for a while. And I was like, I need to do some more. Yeah, I streamed one time when I was building some models. Now I'd be able to do that in painting. Ooh, absolutely. Yeah, that'd definitely be really cool. Are you thinking of doing it on Twitch again, or are you thinking of doing it on YouTube? Hey, welcome, Crow. I streamed Diddy the other day with Donkey Kong. Remember, he did his escape live Diddy footage. I pop up some of this stuff. Shoot, my job just had us working. Maybe on Christmas Eve, my assistants will cut us loose and clock us out. Oh, thankfully, I'm very fortunate. My job, I'm one of the, like, I'm not trying to do like a boast where I'm like, ooh, I'm the best. But I am one of the ones that get like the most shit done. And I'm always there. I never miss days, anything like that, unless I'm like extremely sick. So I'm fortunate enough that I'm allowed to essentially pick my days off. So this next week I'll actually be visiting my family. And I was able to take off the whole week, especially since they just cut everyone's hours during the Christmas week anyway. Yeah, that's understandable. Dude, the YouTube shit that they require is like insane sometimes. Got the good old banana. I'm not safe anymore. But yeah, I wanted... Oh, you found my YouTube channel. Hell yeah. I was streaming on it. For a bit, and then it was like, the YouTube algorithm just kind of just completely died on it, and like, I'm not expecting many views and stuff like that. Obviously, like I'm very small, and like I just started streaming out of the blue, but like I was getting a good amount of viewers, and then it shows you how much that YouTube pushes out your videos and stuff. And it was sending it out to like a bunch of people, and then out of nowhere, just nothing. It wasn't even sending it out to people that were like subscribed. So like I was just literally doing streams that were just like nobody was seeing it. And I was like, that was the push for Twitch. I was just like, I gotta try Twitch out. And I really like doing Twitch. Have my phone streaming and facing me. Understandable. I'll do face cam eventually. I just gotta have this room set up more. Like, the room's nice and all, but I just gotta make sure that it doesn't have like any like personal stuff Like right now, it's just like a bunch of video game stuff, but it's like I just want to make sure. But I have not touched this editor in a bit. Like, I think the last time I worked on something was like Halloween. The last thing I think I actually worked on was with Zika's mod with the Halloween one. That was a really fun one. That was a fun thing to do. But here's the editor. There's definitely gonna be things I forgot. Oh God, what are you redeeming? What game is it? I was gonna say if you want to do the thing for the Turok one, that one's free. Yeah, if you want to pick another one, go for it. That first one I gave you is completely free. My current plan is I finish up DK64 because that's the only one. Oh my God, Goof Troop. Yeah, let me actually put that in the let me put that in the suggestions. Good pick. Yeah, oh. Yeah, when PS4 had the Twitch capabilities of streaming Bloodborne and Doomsember. Yeah, I used to stream Facebook. I used to stream on Facebook through PS4 streaming, because the PS4 streaming was actually pretty decent, like especially for like if you didn't have the means. I was partnered with Facebook at one point and I used to stream on there, and an Xbox had a similar streaming thing, but they had their own platform and that thing was kind of booty cheeks. And I definitely will never be doing streaming on Facebook again. Actually had a pretty nice partnership with them, but like, nah, it's like that was like over a decade ago. And Turin with the cheats was amazing. Oh yeah, or Turok, yeah. And Xbox took it. Yeah, pretty much, as Xbox does. Can't have anything good with them. Let me figure out which one I want to work on. Maybe I'll do some Doom. Maybe I'll like jump back and forth. I'll kind of show what I normally do when I do all this shit. I kind of just fuck around. My favorite thing is just messing around in the editor and learning stuff. I did one whole Bloodborne stream with a muted mic once. Made me feel like shit. Oh yeah. What's the worst stream I ever did? I think it was like I was doing a Perfect Dark speedrun one. And cause like at the time I was getting a good amount of views on Facebook. Now mind you, this is over a decade ago. And Facebook could essentially partner anyone up. And I had a pretty nice following at the time. And I was consistently getting like a lot of views during streams. I don't know why. Like honestly, to be honest, it was not good. Like my content creation I used to do was not the best. And that's kind of why I wanted to do like make this like really nice, as best as I can. And like I'd usually get like a good amount of views, like a couple dozen. And like the Perfect Dark one, I was so excited for it. Not a single viewer. It was like anytime I ever wanted to stream games that I really wanted to play, no one. I was so sad. I was like, come on. Like, oh, I really love this game. I love to share it with people. But that was a fun time and it's all. But I like doing this kind of format now. I also didn't have like OBS or anything, and I didn't have a computer that could like do like literally anything. So I was kind of just limited to whatever consoles would allow with streaming stuff. Let me see, what could I do? So here's my in the works ones. I'll give you a little insight in all of these. I'm not sure if all of these will come out, but I will share some of the stuff I've done. First one's the acapella one. I originally wanted to take every single audio and do an acapella version. The problem is though, I realized I just don't make enough unique sounds. Like, a lot of the sounds were just exactly the same, and I'm like, shit, it's like, that's kind of just, that's not good. So maybe I'll go back and I'll kind of like overemphasize some new sounds and shit like that. I was trying to make it really close to what the game actually sounded like. I think one time my friend and I streamed Dark Souls 3, or tried challenge of passing the remote every time we died. Had to beat the game, and I think we got halfway through before passing out. I actually want to do a Dark Souls 2 stream at some point, but there's a really annoying thing with PC. If any keyboard and mouse is connected to your PC when you start up Dark Souls 2, you get locked out of using a controller. Which is very annoying. So the acapella one, it's just every sound has been changed to be like an actual, like me making it with my mouth. The Diabolical Dog Shit, that's my biggest shitpost mod that eventually will come out one day. I essentially take things I learned from other mods and I put it into this. It gets slowly chipped away. Doom Reimagined is my classic Doom one that I do. I love that one to death. Maybe I'll do some more of that today. Gold is just the entire game is gold. I'm not releasing this because it has epilepsy issues, and if anything, you're not really missing much. This was the stupid joke mod that just didn't go anywhere. The Golden Phantoms is one that I really want to do where every weapon is gold, or every weapon is the Golden Phantom, because in the base game you only get it in one level. In this one, it's every single weapon. I do need to do stuff, though, that makes it more interesting. Same goes for the Golden Sniper Shoddy. And, this one's pretty cool. Maybe I'll work on this one today as well. This essentially, you play as Boris, and you do Boris things. The laser challenge is just with the laser. It's a new folder. Oh, that's the original knife challenge. But that's all the ones that are currently in the works. I've been slowly having bits of ideas on what to do and stuff like that. So maybe I'll start with let's see, what could I do? I think it's under Doom Assets, Edited Sounds. Be Doom version 64 that I left off one. This mod still has a good amount of stuff that needs to be worked on. I have the levels for it. I just need to do the portaling. I don't understand how the portaling fully works, so I need to talk to somebody like Ares or Zika at some point. But this mod has been like my favorite one to kind of work on. I've worked on so far dam and facility. I'm going to do some runway. I've done very basic editing when it comes to some of these extra levels. There is some stuff I need to add, like the fact that the so let me fix this. There we go. I need to fix the fact that I need to go into the action blocks and enable a super shotgun. Hey, welcome. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, for this one, I could preview this Doom one to kind of show it off. Let me give you a little preview of what this is like before I work on it. But good having you. I hope you're doing well today. Let me open up 1964. Also, I'm going to change my plugins to try to do mouse and keyboard just so I don't have to have a controller sitting in my lap the whole time. At some point, too, I want to go through and stream some of these as well. Alright, cool. The mouse ejector is in here. Let's see. In the works. Doom Reimagined. Edited sounds. Here we go. Can I give you a little preview of this? So, with the help of Adzi actually made this in Gmod, which is sick. Is that Merc also helped with the music? We still need to get a lot more music done. I want to pick up learning how to do midis and stuff at some point too, because Merc did a fantastic job with this. I know he'll say he's like, oh, I didn't do like certain things, but genuinely he did a fantastic job with that. I'll show off E1 M2. Mind you, this version is just going to be the base game. There's going to be a separate version for this that is exclusively Doom maps. Also, that model is currently temporary. It's just kind of like a good reference to see what levels of green works out for the characters. At some point, I still need to go in and change the spawn-in guards' weapons, because they spawn in with the AK. It's not supposed to be in here. It's supposed to exclusively be like Doom weapons. But this is essentially what this mod is. This song also doesn't repeat yet. Enemy models will be changed around, and like a few other things are going to be changed up. Actually, I could probably work on some more facility. Now that I think about it, because facility's not all the way finished. But that's essentially what this current mod is. Let me actually do some more facility. I didn't realize that I need to do some extra stuff, so I appreciate you for asking that. Let's see here. So how I have this start, right now as far as I'm concerned, I'm probably going to have you spawn in the same spot every time, like the base campaign. I have little secrets, like the shotgun, stuff like that. In here, you're not going to really see too much. But let me... Also, some of the stuff I've done is I've reworked this. Originally, I was thinking of retexturing the levels too, but to be honest, that's going to be a lot of work. Because, like, as simple as this looks to edit, it's actually, like, a ton more than you would expect. So let me put display rooms, for object, and let me go to, also let me turn the music back on. There we go. Oh, let me see, what am I looking for? I am looking for the drums. There we go. Also, I like that the padlock is also considered a drum. I can't remember exactly which one of these I use. Pretty sure I use this one. So just like Doom, I try to include a bunch of barrels, which are really cool as well. I know it's very simple, but you can copy and paste objects, which makes it like really, really helpful. Also with this is a pictorial object, so with these are kind of like presets. These already have some basic coding in them that tell them what to do. So like you shoot that, it'll explode. right here. There we go. Let me get my full screen up for this. So here's normally where we'll get the super shotgun. Probably put some extra stuff in here. I do also gotta make sure this can run on like real hardware and stuff like that, so I do have to be limited on how many barrels and stuff I put out. This will also have health kits as well. And then one other thing is every level will have a secret normal weapon in it. So you can actually experience the entire game with all the Doom, or all the guns in the Doom style. So right now I'm just going to get the simple stuff, get some of these barrels. Just because Doom just has a ton of just random barrels. These guys have been edited, so they all have their new weapons. One thing I do gotta fix. Happy birthday. One thing I do gotta fix is the pistol's fire rates. For some reason, they fire like full auto. No full auto in the building. They just absolutely will dumpster you with bullets. Like I don't know why they full auto, so I gotta figure that out. So there's this room. I could throw in a bunch of just barrels in here. But in the Doom style. These like that. And then these will also get retextured. Yeah, yeah, essentially. So the enemy assets, are you essentially just working with Goldeneye assets? For this, for the most part, yeah. So when it comes to, like, let's say I just have a basic enemy that I just want to exist in the world, I'll just copy one of these because they're just programmed to essentially just exist and wait. There's a few things that are custom that are like, these guards will be retextured. So for this version, no. For the other version of this mod, yes. It'll have 5 levels. It'll have directly levels from Doom 1 and Doom 2. So it'll have like E1M1, I think it's E2M7. No, it's Doom 2 M7. And it'll have like Doom 2 M2, stuff like that. So they'll have their own little custom campaign with that, but I also wanted to do a full thing with just the base. Kind of get as much as I can out of this mod. Honestly, with these, there's so many of them. Got back on the frame rate a little bit with these rooms. can even hide like a secret in here. So I could take, let's see. Draw object. Yeah, the toilet paper room. Let's see. So, yeah. So what I want to do with this mod is it's going to be there's going to be 3 versions. Technically 3 versions. Version 1 is this, where every level has been edited, shit like that. Version 2 is going to be a 5-level campaign of just whatever Doom levels can fit in here without breaking the engine. And then the 3rd version is going to be exclusively for multiplayer, because me and Adzi in 3D, we tested doing the multiplayer, and it was genuinely so much fun, we forgot we were playing Goldeneye. So I want to do a version that's more balanced towards that as well. So for this currently, if I really wanted to, I could even add like a secret up here to give you some extra armor. Just little things that you would see in Doom. Gee, is there a double trouble mod? Oh god. I don't think so. I also try to not make the mods like have stupidly hard Easter eggs or hidden things, because realistically most people are just going to play this through once and they're not going to really care. They're going to be like, oh look, little secrets. So I try to have the secrets a little bit more accessible. That way it's just like they get to experience the full thing, and then there will be some secrets that are like really hidden that won't really offer too much, but it'll still be like, oh, like congrats for exploring. Like this, for example. Realistically, I could take him if I want, and I could fill this whole area up with guards. Let's say I take him. Also, that Windows sound is supposed to be unique sounds, but for some reason, when I ported this version over to my PC, all of the sound effects for it disappeared. So where would it be fun to do walkway across the way that nobody uses? Which one are you talking about? Like, in the room with the tanks? Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Fun fact. Here, let me show you. Speaking of, check this out. Oh, shit. Never mind. I forgot how old of a version this mod is. On the startup actually has my logo, so you can actually properly see, like, this is the mod's name. Here's kind of like who made it and stuff like that, and then in the credits also has everyone who's like helped out and stuff. So I always like to make sure that everyone gets credited for stuff, even if it's just like help along the way. So get this man. I don't know why they have him like that. He's broken even in base Goldeneye. So come up in like this walkway. Like this is such a cool little area. It's surprising they don't really have anything. I could put like, copy this. And then Oh, it's playing it again. What the hell? There we go. Ooh, good song. I love this song. I could put something like the super shotgun in here, which I believe should be the auto shotgun. I know I've already got the auto shot or the super shotgun laid out in another area, but this would be a nice little thing. Pictorial object, and I'll do ammo. Beta. There's one of these that has actual magazines and boxes of ammo. Speed silent security radio pickup. No, it wouldn't be these. I'll read a comment in just a second. Foliage, chair, brake unit, box. Box? No. Big item. Not desk. Where would this be? Yeah, of course it's in magazines. Small box of bullets. Magnum. Golden. And you can also change these around too. So I'll just do this. And turn that around like that. Also, like Doom designers would put a key and like sync sims. Yeah, pretty much. So something really cool as well is these little things. These little guys, they're called action blocks. Or presets and action blocks. They're two different things. These are essentially where the enemies will spawn in. These things do a lot of stuff in the game. So when I start dabbling in more of the more technical shit with the action blocks and stuff like that, I can have it that it's like, let's say I open like this door, and then there's a teleport effect, and there's enemies that just appear behind you. I could have it that's like enemies will charge at you. You can do so much stuff in this. Like these little things are like so advanced. It hurts my brain. Like these fucking things melt my brain. Oh, it's funny. I even see you just mentioned the green points. Yeah, these are presets. These are essentially, these tell enemies where they can walk. They tell what enemies can do. They can, if you step on them, you could program it. That's like if you step in that area, it does certain things. It's essentially everything. These do like everything in the game. For example, if I was to go into, oh, where is it at? It's been a hot minute, so I won't remember exactly where it's at. Oh, where is this gonna be? Let's see if this, like, you have all kinds of different things. Like, here's your preset stuff. There is something that just full on like has a shit ton of things that appear that essentially tells you everything in the presets and stuff. Where would it be? Oh man, it's been a hot minute. I don't even know if I remember where it's at. Let me put on. Let me see if I can do this. Here we go. So you see all this? This is essentially where like enemies can be pathed. So there's a guard that walks just like this. You can see he's lined up right here. They'll do actual like trails around, stuff like that. That's one thing the presets can do. Yeah, dude, when Rec was showing me this stuff, it was like melting my brain. I couldn't even process this shit. Like it hurt. More for Revenants and Archvile guy. Welcome, Valium. We are actually working on making a Revenant, or not a Revenant, an Archvile in this. But that is for a little bit of a later project. But yeah, I've not worked on this editor in like a hot minute, so there's definitely things I forgot. Is there any unused content besides the on the dam level? There's actually a good amount of unused content in the game. Um, a lot of it doesn't have its original models still, but there is like a bunch of textures that were never used. There's a bunch of mission items that are never used, like the piton gun and like the gold bars and stuff like that. Um, I guess if you also want to count it like this, it's never really used because they designed the levels first and then the game. There's actually a surprising amount that is just left in the assets and the ROM, like the cartridge. But it's funny because Perfect Dark is like almost the entire opposite. There's like barely anything from the beta that made it into the final product. Alright, so for this, we add some of these guards over here. Normally I don't place this many enemies and stuff like that in like a normal mod, but you know how like Doom just absolutely floods levels with guards or like enemies and shit like that. Also, if you want to change their weapons, you can just right click on them, and here's all the weapons that you can choose. Also, here's some of the stuff that is also cut, like the lock exploder, the door exploder, weapon case, safe cracker case, key analysis. You can see all this stuff. A lot of this just does not get used whatsoever. Some of it does inside here, like the DATs and like stuff. But you got like the gold bar, you got heroin, you know, classic heroin. You think you'll ever find a DK64 2 prototype? I don't think they'd find like a sequel to Donkey Kong 64, but I wouldn't be surprised if they found a beta of Donkey Kong Racing. He got what? Yeah, as a little treat. For this guy, I think I'm just going to give him the base shotgun. Maybe even copy him. Bring one down here. And there's a few guys up here too that's waiting for you. When the alarm sounds, they come out. Guys that worked on 64, DD said, ooh, that'd actually be pretty interesting. I'd love to know if they, and whatever they had. I think that'd be really cool. Here's the clipping as well. You can see where everything, there's like all your geometry, everything that you essentially walk on. There's what the level looks like if it was just not. Let me actually play full level. There's all the objects and shit, which is really cool to see. Flipping off. I remember Rec taught me a bunch of stuff, but unfortunately, that shit, like, phased out of my brain. Something that shows the, what's it called? It shows everything that these action blocks do. Go garden and Texas picked up some heroin. I know, right? Playrooms. Also, what's really cool too is you can view the low textures, no textures, which is pretty neat. Wireframe, which I have played through the entirety of Perfect Dark and Goldeneye with the wireframes. That may be an interesting stream to do at some point, but I don't know how well it would be to watch. X-ray, which is pretty cool. And here's all your portaling. This is essentially, if you see it, it spawns in. If you don't see it, it does not. You can see how, like, it loads by room. You can actually see this effect happen in Aztec when you go, if you try to lean when looking at the turrets, it'll like quickly load in, but you can see how the portal system kind of like loads in what you see. Ibon done picked up like a hoagie. Let's see. Off. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. So all of that is essentially, let me turn off the level. All of these green, display full level. All that green is where the enemies are able to walk. So if you see like in here, that's why if you look at Zika's mod where it's like the kamikaze, oh my god, it scared the shit out of me. If you look at Zika's kamikaze mod, the enemies will kind of like zigzag back and forth. It's because they're trying to like run in between these little nodes. If there's a lot more of these nodes, these enemies wouldn't be zigzagging back and forth as much as they do. But at the same time, the more of these nodes that you have in the game, the slower the game will run. Because it's more shit for it to calculate. Also, all these nodes must be connected. If they aren't properly connected, the game will not load. It will just full on crash. Funny enough, I just got a drink, but yeah, I'll get another one. Oh yeah, with my face cam. Oh shit, where'd this go? There we go. But yeah, like this stuff's really cool. Like this kind of gives you an insight on how like the enemies move, stuff like that. And like what's really cool is you don't really ever notice something like this because the enemies aren't charging at you. You never have in the game that the enemies are directly charging after you, like compared to something like Perfect Dark or like Zika's knife or kamikaze mods. So you never really see them needing to run in very specific locations. They'll always kind of run to these same general nodes. So how they work is if they see you over here, they program to come over here. They sit on this node now. If they still don't see you, they'll move to the next one. If they see you now, they stop and they fire. And kind of rinse and repeat after each action. Let me put... Where is it? That's all the objects. There's the sets. There's the pathing. Levels back on. And display rooms. I just have it set for display rooms because it's just way quicker. Oh, I'm missing something. It's clipping, paths, off, That's off. What am I missing? There we go. I think that's it. And then once I get the texturing done for these guys, they will look like the normal guards. So that tier list button is when it's redeemed. Whenever I take like a break, or like if I'm not in the middle of like an action thing, I will just drop what I'm doing and do like a random tier list. I'll just hit like a random button on like the tier list maker website, and I'll just do a random one. I'll try to do it like a small, quick one. I thought that'd just be a fun thing. At some point, I do want to go through and just do a bunch of just tier lists one day. So I think that'd be pretty fun. Also, something that does get added later on is there is actually a health pickup mod that I think Zika either made it, or not Zika, Rec made it, or somebody made it, that I will include inside this as well. So you'll actually be able to pick up little health kits and stuff like Doom. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do like the small single health pickups, because I think that'd just be too many objects in a level. Maybe I could do it with a single texture or something like that. But I still got to add in health kits and stuff like that. And I go into wherever the hell the action blocks and stuff are. I got to figure out where that is. Yeah, stim packs. Yeah, that's going to be really cool. I'm excited to have those added. Also, here is your general visual object editor as well. So let's say I click on an enemy, I click on something, click on this guy. Oh wait, let me objects mode. So I click on him, it'll pop up a bunch of this. You can see that's like, here's all of the different outfits and stuff they can use, their guard IDs, their presets and everything like that. This is a whole convoluted thing of just, that's essentially every preset, every single object in the level. You can have the heads be random, stuff like that. You can give them sunglasses, invincible, send out clones. And you have like your basic action blocks too. Here's every action block in this level. There's also some extra stuff too. You'll see a lot of extra action blocks that were never used in the game as well and stuff. But stuff like that's really cool. You can also, you really can see it with this. So here is the general objects, world objects menu. You can have it where it's like, they can float, they can be invincible, they can even be programmed to be like turrets and shit like that. Like there's a bunch of stuff. Like if you click the lightweight, when you shoot it, it kind of does that like little in the air fly away effect that like what's a good example, like the weapons when you shoot them. Like there's a bunch of different stuff. You can even change their health here. Here's all your standard objects. Here's like all the different type of object types. Like a bunch of stuff. And here's your presets. These all have context when you do open up the presets tab and shit like that. I want to remember where the hell the presets tab is. It's not this. The GameCube? Oh yeah, I think the GameCube's very fun. I'm actually not a fan of the controller. I don't like how squishy the triggers are. That's my only like real issue with them. But I think they're pretty cool. I think it holds up pretty well. It looks really good. It's surprising how powerful it is, because it's more powerful than a PS2. Your favorite color of one? I've had three. I've had the black one, I've had the silver one, and the purple. I think the purple's obviously iconic, but I like the silver one. I think the silver one's my favorite one. Though, I did see a teal one. I saw a teal GameCube at the convention I was just at. They were selling it for like $500, which fuck that. But they were selling it. It was like it was really cool looking. Oh, yeah. There's what's the one that has like the DVD player in it as well, or something, a CD player. Wish I remembered what the hell the presets button is. I was using it a lot last time I was using this. Also, the 00 objects and the 27 objects. The 27 objects are a lot more customizable. The 00 objects are kind of just like essentially presets. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that one looks pretty cool. Let me check something real quick. Well, let's see, what am I looking for? Let me see real quick. Reset editor. Oop. Get rid of this guy. There we go. Let's see. Yesterday I found one with a Game Boy player and screen for $5. Damn! That's a hell of a steal. Good shit. Damn. I never found one with a Game Boy player, but I did find an unopened GBA adapter though. Visual window? So what I want to do right now, before I accidentally lose any progress, is I'm going to import this over. Yeah, I was surprised it's still in the packaging and everything like that. I've never opened it just because I don't really have the GameCube, and I actually don't have a Game Boy Advance. But 2 players, no disc to start it. Damn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to make a new version of 0.65. There we go. Thankfully, with the Goldeneye side of this editor, it saves almost immediately. And just to make sure, save it again. Let me do a little bit of runway. Surprisingly, I've never had a Game Boy Advance. It's the only, like, Nintendo console besides, like, the Virtual Boy I've not had. I don't know why. I've never been in reach of a Game Boy Advance. Full level, especially since, like, the DS essentially does everything that, like, a Game Boy Advance does. Yeah, I've had friends and stuff that had the Game Boy Advance, but I never had one myself. Always wouldn't mind getting, like, the, what's it, the GP model? The clamshell, they're really cool. Yeah, SP. Yeah, that shit's really cool. He's got a preset to walk around. So as you'll see here, you have some guards, but like a lot of the guards that you normally see a ton of, they are just like these. Everything inside them is just essentially this preset. Always been curious about the upper levels of runway. Oh, like up here? Yeah, it's like essentially if you can't see it, they just called it out. You don't see any of it. It would have been cool to know what exactly the upper pieces of this building could be, though. It's impressive that they're able to manage to make it look like a factory for what little they actually do. It's like they don't even have a wall over here. It's impressive how much they saved to cut down on lag and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like over here. Can't see anything. You'll never be able to see past this. So all this is just called right out. Also, something I like to do with all of my challenge mods is I like to come into here, change these guys, and make it that they aren't immune to gunfire. Because a lot of times, the worst part of, like, let's say the Clob Challenge. The worst part of the Clob Challenge is needing to launch grenades into these turrets. I would personally have it that the turrets take damage from normal gunfire. That way you have to utilize the Clob. Here he is, Giga Chad. Also, they all have the sunglasses preset on just inside the editor. That's just how they work. Because essentially what it happens is they get called out when the actual game loads. So for this, probably just take some of these guys first off. Change the right hand weapon to the shotgun. Now I can take him, copy him. You give them hats? Oh, yes, you can. So pop this up. Oh, where is it? There's somewhere that you can give them hats. I can't remember the exact thing you gotta do, but you can actually just give them full-on hats. You probably could. I know there's a few modders who have made custom hats, but that would require you to do, like, modeling and everything like that. I think the Star Fox mod actually utilizes that as well. Oop, what's it locked on? Oh, it fucking crashed. That's the worst thing with this editor, is it crashes so often. That's why it's always very important to save. God, the propeller beanie. Oh, thank you. I ended up changing it last night. I was like, oh shit, I forgot I had this image, and I just put it on the desktop. There we go. There we go. Go back to runway. Thankfully, I didn't do too much on runway. I was just kind of showing it off. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to remove these. And I'm going to change them to explosive barrels. Let's see. Drum. Take this one. Not like that. And then do boxes. I don't remember which box I've edited. It's one of the first level boxes, so it'd be something like this. Yep, there we go. Like this. Break that down. I give it a little bit of like world building almost. Also with these, because they are a 0-0, they can't expand upwards or outwards. You'd actually need to go and change their presets. They have Otis account for your YouTube. So that was actually a joke that was between me and Adzi for a while. When I originally did my first playthrough of Perfect Dark with the wheel, I couldn't think of a thumbnail, and he just randomly sent like a random image. Let me see if I could pull it up real quick. I was just looking at this the other day, and it was just Otis with a gun, and it had us cracking up. So I ended up making a full thumbnail thing for YouTube that was just the Otis meme. Like, here we go. That's the original one. So I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. And then we just kept going with it. The entire thing is just a stupid little joke. And what ended up happening is, it ended up just becoming the character that I had on my YouTube. And then it kind of got to a point where it's like, it was really cool because I ended up getting the models and everything like that for Otis. But like, I shit you not, I haven't seen this stupid fucking show or movie in like over a decade. And it was just completely a joke. And I was starting to kind of get tired of it. Like, it's cool. Like, it's nice because I had a lot of like frames and references. Hey, Raph, good to see ya. Like, I had a lot of frames and references, so I could do like a bunch of fun shit with it. But I was starting to get a little tired of it. So that's when I did the full rebrand and changed it to like Chunky Kong. But yeah, that's the backstory behind why it was Otis. I've got a few. Just kind of like custom campaign mods. I'll be streaming them at some point, but not fully sure when. Because I just gotta do like a bunch of extra polishing and stuff like that. Just doing fun stuff like this. Kind of give it a little bit of extra world building. Maybe have like a little secret or something. Take this out. A second one here. Also, it's important not to do too many extra textures and stuff like that, because if you do go over the texture limit, it can either crash the game or it can just completely corrupt it. I could even go in here. Let's see what else I got. Boxes. This one? No, it's not that one. For objects. What's your workflow when you need custom geometry for the mods? Regarding that, a lot of times I don't do the custom geometry itself. What I'll do is I'll take assets from either Perfect Dark or Goldeneye, and then I'll do my own textures for them. So, like, the one big thing is the one really obnoxious thing with editing either of these games is if, let's say, in Facility, you want to have that in the crawl space, in the ventilations, you want to have it that you can explore the entire thing. You essentially have to pull that entire level out, add the what's it called? Add the geometry in to be able to even walk on it, put it back into the game, and then you would have to remake the entire level yourself. So when it comes to adding any sort of extra geometry or portals and stuff like that, it's just a full pain in the ass. Yeah, it's definitely a pain. So that's why a lot of times you don't see people do any sort of custom geometry to an existing level. Because I wanted to do that with Diabolical Dogshit. I wanted to add some extra custom geometry in the levels to give them like, it's like, oh shit, I didn't realize this was here, or something like that. Like Train, I was going to give it an extra carriage, but you'd essentially have to remake the entire level from scratch if you want to do so. That's why in Rex Goldeneye X, you see custom geometry in it because he already has to go in and make the entire level himself. Oh, for sure. Graz was just talking about the add-ons with like Blender and stuff earlier today. I've not actually used too much of Blender, so that was really cool to get a little bit of like insight on everything. What boxes do I have modeled? This one? Damn. Problem with coming back to a mod after not working on it for a few months is just remembering what you have edited. Let me just go through all of these boxes. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't even do that one. For objects. Where do I have it? It's not this one. No. I have a few versions of these boxes. I just gotta figure out where. There it is. These boxes. Bring this down a little bit. Like that. Could even add like one of those boxes into here. I can't add too many objects to this level. You have a box to hold boxes. Funny enough, I do actually in the Area 15 mod I was working on. I have it that the box actually opens up. Let me copy this again. Bring that down. There we go. Back into here. Something interesting with these as well is these specific textures are very thin. So you see how this kind of like has a little bit of texture artifacting on these sides. That's how big this texture is. It's extremely thin. When I was trying to work on a custom texture for this, it completely did not work in the way I thought it was going to, just because I didn't realize it was that thin. Go into there. Need to change around some of these. Nothing too much I can do with this in particular, so I'm just kind of just doing a little bit of changes. Let's see. OG textures for Goldeneye and Perfect Dark are extremely small. Yeah, I know, right? Especially for Goldeneye. It's genuinely impressive how small some of these textures are. And it's funny too, because then you have some textures that are just like unbelievably big for no reason. Like the menu icon textures are just ginormous. I think they're like 157 by 157 or something. Like, god damn. But they're also some of the last textures added in the game. So maybe they just realized they had extra room. Do that, and then maybe I'll have something back here. Maybe I'll have like health pickup or something. Oop, change his weapon out. I change it to the shotgun. And I could probably take a pictorial guard, bring them in here. Problem is, you can't really have any guards inside here, just due to the fact that they'd immediately be shooting at you. Maybe what I could do is I could pull a Brandon and put a door right here. Okay, let me see these real quick. By the way, can't wait to have access to the GE XBLA textures and bring them to the PD port. Oh yeah. I can't imagine there would be. It's actually interesting. The XBLA for Goldeneye and Perfect Dark, like the classic weapons in Perfect Dark, actually use different texturing and lighting for some reason. Like, the texturing for, I think, the P90 and Goldeneye, the magazine's actually transparent and you can see the bullets, whereas Perfect Dark, it's completely solid. But they use the same exact models, which is interesting. So that would be really cool. I could probably put like a door here. It could be like a storage. I probably want a 27 object. That way I can actually fit it. A good way too to kind of figure out what this is. Like, so here's all your objects in the game. If you're kind of struggling trying to figure out what is what I usually do is I'll come out to somewhere like here, let's say, and then I'll do an insert in pictorial object, do door. See, I'm looking for something like this. Maybe something like that. I think I'm probably going to go with this door. So, that's a big ass door. Jesus Christ. I can now see what its presets are, what its typing is, everything like that. So, be 95. Oh god, it's freaking out. I hope this doesn't crash. There we go. See that? This right here image will tell you the exact one that you're looking for. And then you can essentially just reverse search it up. So now I have that. I'm going to take this door. I go into here. And now since it is a 27 object, I can actually customize how wide and tall it is. So a good reference I'll do is align this directly up with these lines here. You can see it's a little off. There we go. Bring this out to where the portaling would be. I can make it wide. Center it out. And bring it upwards. This is a good way to kind of go about putting doors in custom geometry areas. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty small. The LMG thing is actually the model number. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really know about it either. I thought it was just like, oh, that's kind of like, what's it called? Just what it references or something. And I was like, oh shit, it's the actual object. Make this a little taller, and then bring this up like that. Bring this out. If I want to as well, I could just stick it directly inside here so it kind of clips right through and you wouldn't really notice it. It's off just by a hair. Perfect. Also choose the exact same thing as this, but these are the 00 type, so they don't work the same way that this would. So that actually looks kind of decent. It could be a little straightened up, but for what it's worth right now, it's fine. So I could have it that you get like a key card or something, and you can come back here and you'll get like supplies. So let's say I drop Drop an armor. Right now, I'm probably going to swap out that armor for a health kit. And then maybe for this, I'll do. Maybe I'll just do this rifle. And I'll have it like back here or something. Maybe not, just a little farther. There we go. So if you get the key card, you actually get some rewards here. And maybe I'll have like some enemies as well. So to make sure that this door cannot be unlocked, I'm going to go into here, into the objects. Area behind doors not visible, which is really nice for saving the frame rate and shit like that. And then character AI cannot operate. So they won't be able to essentially open it up at all or anything like that, which is nice. And then at some point I'll go in to the presets editor and everything like that, and I'll make it that the key card that you pick up is required to open this door. That'll be a later thing once I remember how the damn presets editor works again. I'm also going to import this over. That way I can save it. So save that. Go back into here. That's at least all looking nice. You get your key from here normally. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll take one of these boxes. I've got a third box I can probably utilize too. Take that. Take this box. And then let me see if the other box. This one? There it is. There's my third one. Oh god, I don't even know what that is. Let me stick this on the side. Raise this up. Out. Keep this looking a little natural. Got this thing directly on top of it, which that's really cool. I really appreciate that. Then I can also, if I really want to, take this, copy that, and copy and paste just like that, which is really neat. Fix this up though. Take this. I could tell that, I just couldn't tell what it says. Let's see, bring this down a little bit. Out. And then I could probably stick, so every level is going to have a secret weapon that you can use. Maybe. Would be kind of funny to put the clob in here, but I got other uses for the clob. No, I'll do the RCP-90. There we go, big cookies this year. Hey, good shit. What type of cookies? Are you doing the like the instant bake ones, like the Pillsbury Doughboy, or you doing like actual? Ooh, good shit. Can't go wrong with that. We just made cookies a few days ago, but I hope you have a wonderful time with that. That's such a fun activity to do around this time of year. Hey, you take care. Ooh, good shit. I'm jealous. Homemade gingerbread's so goddamn good. Let me shrink this down, and I threw it in there. I preferably don't want this gun to appear above like that, so if I really want to, maybe I'll have this gun not fall to ground. Well, that didn't do it. Fall to ground. Do in air. There we go. Well, there it went. Oh, there he is. Now I can just take him, bring him down to ground level, and put it like this. Now, you realistically... Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Realistically, what you could do, if you were doing a normal way of doing this, you could have it that an action block tells the RCP-90 to fly out of this box. However, I don't have that set for that. So, because that's kind of like, you don't really see that in Doom, so I just have it like hiding under it. But yeah, doing the vertex shading such a nightmare. I personally like doing it. It's almost like a therapeutical thing, but like like that shit will get on your nerves. Immune to gunfire, immune to explosions. This is something I should have added earlier. But this is also a good example to show how quickly you kind of just learn on how to work these menus. Oh. Wow, that's certainly interesting. You know what? I guess they want to stay that way. Yes, it is. So these are actually pulled from Doom. The problem was, Doom's textures are all like 65 by 65, which is not a problem. The problem is Goldeneye can't run 65 by 65 textures colored. So normally this one would be this kind of tannish look, and this design I think is like red or something. This one's also kind of similar where it's green, and this has like a greenish texture. And same with this. I think this one's like a yellow or something. But the problem is I had to grayscale them. So what I did instead is I vertex shaded these boxes, which I can also kind of flip this around. There we go. Hide the shading a little. Do that. Do that. So yeah, those are custom textures. I'll have to see everything that I do have custom textures for. Also, I can get rid of this door now. There we go. There's still a lot more that needs custom textures. Like, I still need to do custom textures for the imps. I need to do custom textures for these guys. And then I need to go in and retexture Bond. Because right now I just have a really shitty test version that's just essentially the Datadyne Trooper, but completely painted green. just so I could figure out exactly how it looks in multiplayer. But once I get all the custom textures for it, then it'll be like looking a lot better. So let me actually go in here, import solo. I still need to figure out the action block thing. I don't know why I completely forgot it. I wonder if I could see it in the Discord at all. I'm a little silly. There it is. I was overlooking this thing. Dyslexia is a bitch. Here's the action blocks. This thing is a pain in the ass. And it melts my brain every time I look at this damn thing. For a rundown for anyone who's not seen it, this is essentially this game's brain. It tells you, and it tells guards every single thing that it needs. So, like, let's say I go over here, and, oh, my brain's already fried just looking at this fucking thing. But, like, here's all the stuff for this level. Let me pop up just this. Where is it? Where is it at? Let me pop this to the side. Not sure why it's not changing. Yeah, here we go. Here is a bunch of this shit. Here's all the IDs for the different action blocks. I think there's like it starts with like 400s or something like that, and then there's like the 1000s or something. I can't quite remember what it is, but there's two different versions. One do like the minor changes and the minor stuff, and the other ones are like our major ones. Like, for example, I need to add an action block to the end of this, which would be 1000B, I think. That makes it that any super shotguns that you acquire fire 2 bullets. Which is really cool that you can do that. You can change it between levels and stuff like that. So I could have just one level that didn't do that and the others. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm pretty sure you're right. That would make sense because a lot of these 4X ones are just more like enemies reacting to stuff. Whereas like the 1000s are like changing the weapons and everything. Yeah, like, look at this shit. My brain fries. Like, it's cool that they have the color coding so you can tell what they jump to. But like, holy shit, like this, I already struggle with dyslexia reading shit, and it's like you throw this in front of me. Oh man. My skills have always come from doing texture work and stuff like that, and like map design. But when it comes to like actually programming, oh dude, I can't do it. Merc looked at this thing, like looked at all this for like half an hour the first time he saw it and just immediately locked in and understood it. How Merc did the Oops All Aztec. Like this shit. Oh, fucking hell. This like melts my brain. Get that out of here. That's for a later time for me. Later, more painful time for me. It's like, oh man, that shit's rough. Let me take this. So, bring this up. Yeah, I like that. There we go. I think if you did some basic programming courses, oh, for sure. Unfortunately, I never really had a opportunity, especially like growing up, to really get to learn coding or anything like that. So it's just like, you know how like you get to a certain point of time in your life where it's like you try to learn something new and it just doesn't click. That's kind of how that is with me. I know I just kind of need to beat my head against it. It is definitely something I do want to do. But like, I know I'll get it eventually. I just really have to like sit down on a day that like my brain won't melt and then just full on try to tackle it. So let me put like a block or a box like here or something. There we go. Give a little bit of extra stuff. But yeah, it's definitely something I am interested in doing, especially if I'm doing like these mods and stuff where it's like doing full on levels and everything. Yeah, I definitely would like to. It's like I've gone this far. I've done like literally everything in this editor except the full on action block stuff. Also, speaking of, let me see what I have texture-wise done. So here's some of the photos, kind of just like, why is it open up that way? Some of the random ones. I thought this was really funny. Just throwing Doom Guy's face on it without any editing. Just looks like that. That got a good chuckle out of me. As you can see here, I tried doing a full texture, thinking it would wrap entirely around the barrel. It did not. It turned it into a giant cucumber. Here's the rocket boxes for your, obviously, your rockets. This one's really cool. I didn't really have to do too much editing with this. I think I don't remember if I changed the top of this in the final. There is a texture I was working on for the plasma gun ammo. I actually had to make this myself. There was my first attempt of the plasma gun until I realized this uses a 16 by 64 texture, because I was like, wait a minute, this is coming out really blurry. And I took a screenshot of it and I threw it in with a 16 by 64 and it looks so much cleaner. So I got to do that. Also, this texture is also supposed to be grayscaled, so I gotta figure out a way to grayscale it and make it still look the same. That's what happens when you have a 65 by 65 texture be colored in. It kind of freaks out and glitches out like that, which that'd be pretty cool for maybe something of like a mod or something. Maybe like a horror mod or something like that. This is what the box... Hey, Brandon. Hope you're doing well today, buddy. This is what I wanted the box to look like. Yeah, like it's weird. It's like I'll have to look and like chat with Rec at some point. Rec imported Area 52 from Perfect Dark, and they use 65 by 65 colored in. And like I know Rec's just like a modding prodigy and just understands way more than I ever could. So maybe there's something we could do, because that'd actually be pretty cool if I could get boxes like this to load in. I saw that. Seemed like you had a good time. There's the super shotgun. I really like how this turned out. Johnny Thunder actually had somebody that made a custom shotgun that wasn't for a campaign. He had one for a campaign and he had this one. Yeah, Rex genuinely impressive. I always feel so silly too, cause like I've spent so much time learning mods and stuff, and then like he'll go to teach me something with the action blocks, and my brain just melts. Like I feel so bad. I'm talking to like the professor, like the master of modding. I'm stumbling and like messing up. Just trying to learn the action block stuff is so hard for me. But it's like I always appreciate getting to learn more stuff from him because he's helped out a ton. He helped out with getting the double-barreled shotgun to actually fire 2 shots instead of 1. That's genuinely also really cool. Oh, dude, I wouldn't have nearly as much information I do on the editor without Hackbond. I like all of my mods and stuff. I always credit Hackbond and stuff because he genuinely like just helped me learn so much about the game. And I always felt so bad too because like I don't like to bother people. I don't like to reach out and stuff like that because I'm just like there's so many people that just reach out and they just don't have any sort of awareness of like when it's appropriate to reach out. So I always feel bad because like especially some people that get like a lot more people asking for help or like content creators and stuff like that. But like he's always just been there, like immediately knows exactly how to fix stuff, knows how to help out. We figured out, we actually learned together that Goldeneye, because Goldeneye uses 1x1 textures for some stuff, to reduce file size. So like the D5K I think uses a 1x1 texture. If you try to import a 1x1 texture into the editor, it actually corrupts the entire textures model, which is really interesting. Let's see, he helped me add a new weapon. Ooh, that sounds really cool. Oh yeah, absolutely, they're great. Like, dude, Hackbond has helped out with so much, it's unreal. Like, I wouldn't know, like, 90% of this without him. But for this, I went in and I retextured the shotgun. So now, like, it's got this. It's not actually cell shaded or anything like that. I actually made the textures themselves look like that to kind of make them look like smoothed out versions of the Doom sprites, which I really like how these turned out. And then the super shotgun in Doom also has this weird funky green part to it. So that's one of my favorite ones. This one needs a little bit more edited. Like I still need to replace this texture and that texture, but it's mostly there. Also, now that I've learned how to actually make proper textures for this, I'm probably going to swap these out for Doom's actual what are they called? Muzzle flashes. I purposely have these kind of off kilted, like off shaded, that way to give it a little bit more depth when you fire it, because you're not going to see this exactly because it happens so quickly. There's the rocket launcher. I really like how this rocket launcher ended up turning out. A lot less stuff was edited on this than the other ones. I think on the other side may have like a different texture here or something. But nonetheless, that was still really cool. And then I got like a few other things like where is it? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Just open up my YouTube stuff. Here's some my just general texture stuff. Here's ones I've worked on. That was for the sniper mod. That's for the Doom one. That's actually based off of GZ Doom's reticle. I think it's the third reticle in the game. And it's the closest one that kind of looks like a between like Goldeneye and Perfect Dark. So it's like, you know what, that one's perfect. There's the DD44. The Smokers Royale. And then here is textures I have made for some maps I'm working on. These were fun to make. Some of these, what I did, I like to make my textures and stuff in the same way that the developers would have made back then. So, like, some of these are handmade. Like, I made this myself. I made this. I, like, completely hand drew all this. I know, right? Like, look how tiny that is. So, like, I made all these ones by hand. I drew this one. And then what I did is I took some actual real life photos and then I condensed it down to these textures, because that's kind of what they did as well, which is really cool. So it's like they have a mix between hand drawn, realistic, like actual ones. Like I handmade this one, handmade that. These are supposed to be fences, and I even gave it that same goofy look to it that the originals have. Like, where it's like, clearly it's like, oh yeah, you could tell I just blotched out this whole thing, but like it's completely intentional. There's some paper that's going to be on the floor. That's supposed to be like a pole, the top of a pole, the side of the pole. There's more of the roads. There's supposed to be the tarps on the side, pieces of wood. But I really like doing this stuff. It's a lot of fun. Because like I used to work on a lot of pixel art. So like this is like, feels like at home for me. Let's see, where is the rest of the textures for the Doom one? I've already saved this, so I don't gotta worry about that in case it freaks out. Doom assets? I don't think it's in Doom assets. But here's everything I've pulled for the mod as well, so I can have references. Like when I redo the arm, it's gonna have more of this hairy texture to it. When I do the guards, they're kind of gonna have this kind of design to them. There's a bunch of really cool stuff. That way I could properly tell. Also, I love the fact that some of these textures are actually shared nearly identical with Goldeneye and Perfect Dark. I thought that was really cool. For these textures in Doom, they're actually 3 separate ones. That way you could prolong how long the box is with this little piece without widening this out. So what I did is I combined all 3 of them into a single texture. Also, there is the muzzle flash that I'm probably going to replace for most of the weapons. There's textures for doors and walls and everything like that. I gotta figure out where exactly. And then here's the key card that I'm gonna replace some of the textures with. Oh yeah, absolutely. And just figuring out what works and what connects. Like here's the super shotgun texture. So you can kind of see it's got like that design to it, and then there's a little piece of green. Like really cool. Now I gotta figure out where exactly the rest of those textures are. Let's see. Doom Reimagined, Doom Assets. Oh, here we go. Here's some of them. So here's the Datadyne model. These I pulled for reference when working on them. That's how big that stupid barrel texture is. I can find workarounds for that. Here's Adzy's texture model. What's really funny is it's one of the only skins, like only enemy models in the entire game that actually shares textures with the level itself. This is supposed to be like where like the stomach is on the SSF guard. That's the snow. That's the walkway snow in Surface. Oh yeah. Also, I love how crusty this is. Like, what are you supposed to get out of this? I'm impressed that this is a texture and it works. There was my attempt at the barrel. Here is my Doom Guy redos. So I took the original blue one, changed it around a little, got rid of some logos, and gave it that like ripped shirt. There's the other side. So there's two versions for that. There's the USC logo that's in the back that's supposed to be like the Datadyne logo. There's the Super Shotgun. Originally I was going to have a lot more, what's it called? Not crustier, but like, textured ideal on it. So you can see it's got a lot of like, what's it called? Artifacting in it. That was intentional. And then I put it on the model. It didn't look good. So I went back to the drawing board and took it from that to that. So it looks a lot better. This is also in the game. This replaces the world map. Because I've been helping identify textures for Xenos HD pack. Yeah, I can imagine how many textures are just completely shared in Perfect Dark. I'm genuinely impressed how far they got with Perfect Dark. They were pushing it with how much shit they had in that. I love that game so much. It'll always be my favorite game ever. And then here's some crusty ass textures that are going to be for some level select stuff. There's the UAC rockets. Now, this was a little bit too advanced for the texturing, so the green was removed, and then I just vertex shaded it to look tan. That's the top of it. That's the top in the final model. It actually looked good to have that grainy model or a grainy texture in it. That was the original idea for the plasma gun. Did not work out. The fun thing is just learning stuff. Like, who cares if you fuck up? It's just nice to be able to learn. As long as you learn something at the end of the day, you didn't fail. Oh yeah. I would say most of the work I've done for these mods goes into the texture work. I shit you not. I've done mods in like 2 hours time. Like I've done the whole campaign thing. I've gotten everything tested. I've done everything that I need to. And then I will just dedicate another 2 hours to just making textures. Because I love doing it. And I want to do more than just like, oh, here's the game with just different stats. I'm like, I want to add a little something to it. This is the power cell energy for the power cell weapons that you'll get. There is the ammo box for it that I still need to implement. But also, I think that's for the sniper rifle or some shit like that. But yeah, there's the 10x. Yeah, let me open it up in Notepad. And that entirely tells the game that the shotgun uses 2 bullets instead of 1. I know, right? Like, I was so surprised. Like, you would think, like, Axe Doomer of all people would have done something. There is one mod or technically 2. Ah, it crashed again. Well, that would be a good time to test this. There is technically 2 mods that are based on Doom. There is Doom Aim, and then there is, I think, like, Aim Down Sights mod. All it does is, I'll show it here. Where is it? IDKFA. Let me pull these up. What's been done is every weapon essentially is aiming down sights like this. However, since it's older, I think the editor had less features at the time, so it's not properly like this. It's more janky. It's like directly up in your face. So I changed it that they kind of look way closer to the original counterpart. They also reloaded, where this I've made it that they can't actually reload at all, except for the super shotgun. Also, one thing is I gotta go in and figure out how to get the chain gun to actually spin properly. There is a way, but it's really annoying, so I'm trying to figure out other ways. But funny enough, that was the first mod that I played on Goldeneye, was the Doom aiming one. Because I thought it was gonna be really cool, and then it was a little disappointing, but like for what it's worth, I think it's an older mod, so it makes sense on why it was kind of limited. Alright, so now that I've done this, hey Brandon, let me pop into here. And let me try to play through what I've added so far. I need to have this reduced down to 50 bullets. I think I messed up on that. There we go. One thing I need to figure out too is how to reduce the fire rate of the pistol. Because personally I like it to be like this, or very similar to the actual pistol speed. However, for some reason it's like hard-coded that you can just press it as fast as you want. So how I rebalanced it is I made it that the pistol is a lot weaker and it's a lot more inaccurate. It's actually got 100 in accuracy. Unless you single fire it. Which I need to get it better. But right now it's like 25% less inaccurate if you single fire it. Which I want to have it way more. Yeah. Like that was the best way I could think to balance the pistol. Yeah. Also, that D5K is going to be what the chain gun is. I still need to make it a little faster, but I do need to adjust it for actual OEM to make sure it actually stays this fast. Also, how I reworked the super shotgun to make it a little bit more accurate to the game in the best way I could. Obviously, if you shoot an enemy in this, all the bullets, they will just eat up. And you won't be able to hit anything behind you. But with Doom, you're constantly... you'll hit them with, like, one pellet, and then, like, all the other pellets just go through them because the super shotgun is just so powerful. So what I did is I gave the super shotgun actually penetration. So I have a hidden weapon in here, which is not, it's not the AK, but it's the Uzi. Also, these, I know, right? It's diabolical. It's really fun in multiplayer too. I know this is really easy for me right now because I'm just using keyboard and mouse. But, like, it's so much fun to play with this super shotgun. maybe what I could do as well is I could have this open up, and it'll have like chain gunners in here. Go back and get him. Also, let me try the shooting his barrel. Yep, that works exactly how I want it to. Like that he was just chilling there. There we go. Get some music on here. I also got doors working on these, like the sound effects. They're actually kind of a bit of a pain to edit. I thought that was him for a second. I don't remember where this guy is. So he's not down here. But yeah, after we did a little bit of multiplayer testing and stuff, it was like, oh man, I gotta add like a multiplayer version to this. Where is he? Of course he's gonna be like somewhere completely hidden, unless I just completely overlooked him in this area. Yeah, this is just the normal setup editor. At the current, oh, there he is. At the most recent version, kind of showing off and working on some of the Doom mod that I've been working on off and on this year. I hope you're doing well. It's good seeing you. But yeah, so this looks fine. Barrels came out fine with this. I love the fact you could just shoot with the super shotgun for that. But yeah, you could see how bright green it is. I did that because it was a little hard to see the model in the multiplayer with one of the levels with fog. So I made him as obnoxious as possible. That way you can always see him in the cutscenes until he gets his textures replaced. This one doesn't have custom music yet. It doesn't have a custom startup weapon either. That's fine. So this would normally, well, this requires to go up, but this will require a key, which will come in here. You'll get the UAC rifle. The fog mod. So are you referring to Golden Hills? For Golden Hills, it was originally going to be kind of like a Silent Hill, very foggy mod, and the challenge was you just couldn't see anything. But the problem was levels like this has some really nasty clipping issues with fog, as you can kind of see over here. And it was causing what could possibly be like epilepsy issues. And I ended up canning most of it. It's gonna reappear in another project, but for that specific mod, it kind of got canned just because it was really bad with issues like that. So you can see here, this is what happens when you have too many textures going on. So for that, I would need to increase the MT levels. I'm actually surprised I can actually see the reticle and everything still. But that means there's just too many things going on right now. So the textures completely freak out. Yeah. There's his face. That's his fingers. Makes him look like he's cheeked up. But yeah, for these textures haven't been replaced yet on those guards or anything. But it definitely is something due to these boxes. Also, normally, you're not supposed to be able to dual wield any of these weapons. That's one thing I did remove. Every weapon is just kind of the same like this. However, the properties of if an enemy has it programmed in that you can dual wield, it'll automatically bypass that and give you the dual wield anyway. So, I still gotta go in and fix all that. Oh yeah, it's like insane. Like, you barely can do anything for it. Usually I never do too much with this level. I think also this mod has been so old that I haven't added the increase the MT levels on it. I'm pretty sure that's what's happened too. He's flashing all kinds of different shit. For that, let's go open this back up. Yeah, it's always really funny to me, like, to know how little allocation they have, considering how many unique objects are in that level. Alright. Doom Reimagined, go into here. Because this mod was before I even set up all the template stuff. So I'm pretty sure I don't actually have anything set up after facility. So runway. Give it like 850. Go into here because I did not add a custom startup. So go in here. If you want to have your intro, like your starting weapons and stuff like that, changed around, you go into your intro block. You go down the start weapon. I'm going to be doing the PP7. It'll be pistol starting every level. Start ammo. I know the MT level for this is normally what? 50 is normally translated over to 80. Extra tools. Where is it? Is it data converter? Yeah, here we go. $32. Okay. That's a really nice feature they have in here. 32. There we go. So that way you'll start off with 50 bullets, because that's how you start off in Doom. Outside of that, I can just go right back into here. It does frustrate me that you got to go into the visual editor itself to change the intro blocks. I do wish that you could just change the intro blocks from like here. Ooh, okay, neat. I was hearing something about like a little bit of a setup editor being worked on, because I know there's stuff for Perfect Dark being made too. I would love to see a fully separate editor for Perfect Dark at some point, because the Perfect Dark editor side of this is definitely a little rough. Like the sounds are properly not named right, and it's got like a lot of just different little issues and stuff that I think could easily be fixed. Also for facility, come back into here, change this from 80 to 32. Come into here. Because like, this editor is so cool for what it's worth. It's unbelievably cool. Intro blocks, start ammo. Yeah, so that would just be 32. That's fixed now. Ooh, got some good old like funk or Swanky Kong music. I can't remember what the name of this Kong is. I think it's Swanky Kong. Let's replace that. Go into here. And let's launch this now. Let's see how much different the allocation gives it. So now I'll start with my normal pistol at 50 bullets. Perfect. Also, this is kind of funny. That just swings open because I didn't properly code it. Also, when you pick up like health pickups and stuff like that, they also make the pickup sounds from Doom. I'm probably also going to change this around realistically. I kind of want to give this a little bit more detail than just desk. I've also been trying to limit how many models appear in this. So I have these doors which share textures. These 3 boxes are unique. You don't see the other box in here. And then the explosion, like the explosive oil drum. And then I guess obviously the tank too. I'm debating on keeping the tank. Just since it's not doomy. Maybe giving you like a rocket launcher with a shit ton of rockets. I think that'd be a pretty fun alternative. I have a little bit of a suspicion that I can fix the pistol. I have an interesting way on doing that. I just gotta like actually go in and implement it. Also, the UAC rifle is slightly, what's it called? A slightly adjacent chain gun, since the UAC rifle was originally meant for Doom, but didn't get added. I figured I'd add it since it'd give me an extra weapon to work with. But I figured I'd add it in. It's slightly slower than the chain gun. However, it's got more penetration and it's got slightly more damage to kind of make up with it. And it's got a zoom. Yeah, these guys are looking a lot better now. So this mod is so old that I didn't allocate any of it to like having presets done, which is really funny. All of my other mods that came after this had presets. So every level has 200 plus MT to them, and they all have like the proper credits, the proper logos, everything like that. Let me try running somebody over with the tank. I wonder if it's probably not the dynamically allocate MFT. I'm not sure. That'd be pretty interesting if you could. Also, yeah, I changed the sound effect up. So maybe I will keep the tank in for the sole fact you can hear that. I'll probably add up like a shit ton more enemies too. Maybe some boxes they can run over. Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah, I know the levels that always gave me the worst problems was runway and surface when it came to texture allocations and everything like that. For the longest time I refused to use the footsteps patch. I don't know why. I was like, "Oh yeah, I just want to have my mods be as like vanilla as possible." And then I realized how silly that was, and I was like, "Well, this actually like makes it so much better." And just something with Train 2. I think so. I'm not fully sure. I've never had full issues myself with Train, but I wouldn't be surprised considering how many textures this Train has. Now let me go let's see, go back to runway. Also, I'll probably be streaming for a little more and then I'll start wrapping it up. I thought today would just be a fun little time kind of just chatting and showing off some stuff I've worked on alongside the editor. I think what I am going to do is I'm actually going to add more enemies, more enemy placements to give it off more like a Doom vibe. I'm just going to throw them here for now. I can go over here, take this box, throw this box out. There we go. Take this, make this box big. Almost to an extent of, what's that level called? It's the really putrid one. Like the whole warehouse facility in, Doom. Some of that, let's see. Properly aligned. Yeah, it looks like it. So we could have... Also, I mentioned before, normally whenever I do Goldeneye mods, I don't throw in a ton of enemies, because I know it can be like a little annoying and it can feel a little unpolished. However, since this is a Doom mod, there's going to be enemies everywhere because it's Doom. There's going to be multiple different enemy types as well. So, right now, obviously the easiest one implemented is just the normal guards. They will be the zombie men when the time comes. But then I'll have imps that have rocket launchers. I'm gonna try to get like smaller explosions, so it's not like as diabolical. But I'll have that. I'll have archviles, and I want to try to do a cacodemon. I think doing a cacodemon would be a fun stretch of what you can do with the editor. Still make sure they're facing the right way. This guy out here. Come into here. Also, this way, if I have enemies placed here, later on, I can just kind of go through and kind of see the ideas I had. That way I can change them out. Usually what I'll do is if I have an idea that I just can't physically get a good reference for, I'll usually make a little bit of grass. I'll have like a like the jungle grass on the floor, and that'll kind of be like a reference point of like, oh shit, I was gonna add something here. Where the fuck did that box come from? That's not what I wanted. Nope. Put that back. This. Except for him. I don't want him moving. Oh, you can just make everything spin. Move this around just a bit, just to give it a little bit extra, a little bit of a change. Maybe I can even add something like having this monitor playing Doom or something like that. Expand that up a little bit. Bring the keyboard out. One of these desks with the monitor and keyboard was one of the first things I ever edited, because that's the Adsy's starting soon screen is directly the table with the monitors on Surface. So that was a really fun learning experience, because like I had never actually messed with editing the levels themselves up until that point. I have it kind of sitting out like this. Over here. Kind of sit here. And for that monitor, I'll have Doom playing. Make the monitor bigger. Just this out a little bit. There we go. What else could I add here? There we go. I can't make it wider, but I can at least make it longer. There we go. Needs to give it a little bit of something. I take this box, bring it in here. Change this positioning around. I do know Adsy is streaming a little later after I get off of here. I'm probably gonna do it like another 10 minutes and then call it. That way I can kind of get something to eat and do some stuff like that. But yeah, I really like doing the mods. They're a lot of fun. There's something very therapeutic almost about just making something. This could probably be pushed back here. There we go. Maybe I'll get rid of the filing cabinets just to save on a little bit of texturing. Ooh, what happened to these guys? They did not like that. There we go. I'll have secret weapon inside here. Brandon's favorite. Brandon's weapon of choice. I'll probably keep the tank just because the custom sound effects for that. Me and Aries are probably going to be playing through some Doom co-op this Monday before I head out of state for holiday plans. So that's definitely going to be fun. It's been really fun just playing through Doom, just playing through like the mods and stuff again. I used to play a lot of it years ago when my computer essentially could only run Doom. So I hadn't played it in like a hot minute. Like I played Doom off and on, like, but not like to the extent of like I've been. Plus, playing through a lot of Doom has been giving me more ideas for this, and it's just kind of like helps me get a better grasp on designing these like weapons and the stats and everything like that. Pretty sure it's up and down. I can just take the stats from this. And traveled E666, but that's going to be slightly different because the height of this. I could change the acceleration. Oh, I know, right? Good seeing you, TH. Hope you're doing well today. Hope it's been as nice and warm as it's been down here. You're behind door not visible. Let's see, was it for this? A. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, they look pretty good. This song's so good. The person that actually remastered this song, you should hear the quality of like how good this song sounds in like the 4K. It's unbelievably good. I got some last minute shopping going on later this week. I've already got like all of my stuff. Like me and my spouse kind of did holiday stuff early. For me personally, I always like doing gifts throughout the year. So like the Christmas time, it kind of stresses me out a little bit. I'm like, I want to do more things from the heart. I don't like doing it fully. It's like, oh, it's a requirement. But I've been trying to do like little bits of more stuff. Like I'll find things throughout the year. I'm like, oh, this would be cool for like the holiday. So I do a little bit of both. But we've essentially already did our gifts to each other. Like I ended up getting them a full brand new like office space, and they got me a couch and like some other nice stuff. So it's been a nice holiday so far. I like this man just staring at the wall. I gotta figure out which one of these action blocks has guards, so I can change them not having the clob. Ooh, another good song. Let me turn that up. There we go. Oh man, like I'm a really bad procrastinator. So it's like I feel that I have something for a family member that I've been working on that, like I just need to just sit down and finish. Like it's a painting for and I just need to do like the final touches, and it's like I just keep procrastinating. I just need to sit down one day and just like fully work on it. Oh, this song's so good, isn't it? Maybe have him do the PP7 and I'll copy him. No, I can't copy him because he's got a path. Copy this guy. paste here, paste here. And they'll just have the PP7s. Yeah, oh man, these songs are so good. I always did terrible at the Donkey Kong Country games. I don't know what it is. I don't like the platforming just doesn't fully click with me. Not in a way that it's bad, just in a way that like I just can't lock in for it. But like it's one of the few games that's like I want to explore the world. Like I wouldn't even like I would just love to just explore just the areas behind the game. Like the jungles and stuff. They look so unbelievably gorgeous. It's unreal. Like, it's so impressive how good those games looked and how good those games, like, hold up. Let me change this guy out. Give him... what gun am I looking for? I'm probably looking for, like, an M16 to give him. Let's see, where's it at? AR-33. There we go, I was being silly. Oh yeah, it's like, it's so impressive. Yeah, same. Like, even, like, people kind of, like, dog on 3. I think 3 is really cool. I think 3 explores more of, like, a world that the other 2 doesn't. Like, the whole open world area, or not open world, but, like, the open map. Like, that shit's really cool. I think that's so cool. See, those guys have PP7s. Give this guy a shotgun. Give this guy a PP7. But yeah, I'd definitely try to do a stream or something at some point going through them. Because I got far in 1, and I got a little bit in 2, but I never beat them. There's always just like a minecart level or something that just like prevented me from completing it. Yeah, like they look there's just the trees. They look so good. Oh my god. Jump scare. Oh my god. Going from peaceful back to that. Holy hell. Okay, what can I add here? I think for the most part, this is fine for now. That way to at least not have to worry about the level crashing or anything. I know, right? From like just the most peaceful, like laid back song to just a fucking X themed jump scare. Yeah. But yeah, it's so impressive, especially like being on like the CRTs too. Like they just look unbelievably good. It's impressive how like CRTs just worked. I think one day we're probably gonna have CRT filters that look nearly as good, but I think it's still like a ways away. The goofy ass placement or placeholder. Yep, that goes way too fast. Funny enough, it goes way too fast and nowhere. So that's going to be something I fix on a later time. I wanted to do that. Funny how bigger this room looks once you move the table. I'll have a little set of images there to make it look like it's playing Doom. I think that'd be fun. But that's also 4 more textures that would need to be added to the level, so I'll have to see. Cool, they're invincible. Perfect. Not alright. They did it in Majora's Mask. You could actually play Doom in Majora's Mask, which is wild. One thing I'd like to see if I could get fixed is, see when you zoom in, it kind of like yanks the gun a little bit. I'd like that fixed, because the reason why is it's trying to fix itself when it's normally aiming. Oh, I got nothing. Let me go and get that tank. Maybe I'll fix the fog. Maybe I'll have the fog not as thick either. Nice grenade. Yeah, you can see how blocky he looks from a distance too. You can see the blending of the low poly and the high poly. Because that was the issue I was having. I would make a texture for the high poly, and then for the low poly, it would just completely freak out. So that's kind of a good example too of why I have it just so bright green, so you can see where the low poly pops in. But it was kind of fun just messing around. I want to do a lot more of these editor streams, especially after the holidays. I just have been so busy this month. I wanted to stream a few times this week actually, but every time I would go sit down and I was like, I think I'm gonna stream, I would get called into work. Like, god damn it. So I've been wanting to do more streaming of the editor and stuff. I think the next time I do the editor, I'd probably do Surface 1 and definitely Silo. I think Silo is going to be a fun one because that's the most Doom level out of all of them. Where you just go through and like shoot the shit out of a bunch of enemies. I think that'd be a fun one. Plus, I could actually utilize having like the keycards and stuff, like the models and stuff. I think that'd be really fun. And then if I wanted to change this as well, I just go into here and you can see which image it is, the television monitor, stuff like that. That's really cool as well. So I would just either add one of these images or I would just copy over one of these. Oh yeah, pretty much. And then obviously I'm probably going to do like a lot more runway off screen. Make it a little bit more, less just random boxes and shit. Maybe I'll find out some more stuff. Add some more barrels, stuff like that. Runway's kind of just a hard map to work on in general. Because it's gotta stay like, make sense a bit. Like this is a runway, this is an airstrip. So you wouldn't really have too much stuff on the airstrip and everything. And unfortunately that takes up like what? I'd say 70% of the level. So I'll figure something out. Either way, this is still really cool. It's also cool that you can see the snow in the back here and everything. One thing I do really like with Dam and Runway with this mod, though, is these mountains look very similar to the mountains that you see in Doom. So it's like, oh, that's perfect. Like, that looks so good. But yeah, I think I may call it here. Maybe I'll show off like one more game, because I know somebody earlier was asking about different games and stuff in the works and everything. Let's see, when was this one edited? This is a little joke one I want to work on at some point. I want to do a little bit more with this. This is going to be invisible, or invisible. Play as Boris. But you're as talented as Boris, so your guns don't like properly aim the way you want them to, and they fire a lot slower and they're a lot more inaccurate. But he gets extra abilities, like since he's a hacker, he's able to just open up like locked doors and stuff like that, and he'd have key cards. So like he's holding his gun the wrong way and stuff like that. There's gonna be a lot more that gets done. This was kind of just like a 5-minute little fun thing. I was like, you know what, this would be fun. Let me see what other weapons I've edited. And then obviously I'm gonna change like the textures and stuff too, because that's one of my favorite things as well. Bronze Eye. He ain't hitting shit. Let me do facility. Facility for good measures. Yeah, here we go. This is how I think I'm going to edit the pistol for the Doom mod. This is what I was referencing earlier. See how slow I'm firing? I'm firing as fast as I can. I think that's going to be the way I get it working in the Doom one. So even stuff like this, going back to earlier, even just messing around and doing silly stuff like this, I still find new things to learn. Yeah, pretty much. Because it's just like, obviously, Boris would be kind of struggling to fire that thing. I'm probably going to make it even fire even slower, to be honest. See what I can do. But like he has his arm really extended out because he doesn't know how to hold the gun. This one obviously would be fixed. But I'm going to have it that certain weapons he just doesn't understand how to turn the safety off of them. Some of them he doesn't know how to hold, so the recoil is just like absolutely abysmal. So I think this would be a fun one. I haven't edited these. Not these. Like the M16, he's just got horrendous accuracy with. Paint a beautiful picture of everything except what you're hitting. But I love doing silly little ideas like this. But I'll have to go through the CMG Reaper. Yeah, that accuracy is really good. That's my favorite. Yeah, here we go. Ooh, good old accuracy. I love hitting nothing. I love hitting everything but nothing at the same time. And then obviously when he fires, I want to try to get it that like the gun always kicks up, but it kind of like locks down on the animation for each bullet coming out. But it'd be really funny to have it just progressively get higher and higher like that. Let's see, what else have I done? But then some weapons will just be like too sophisticated for him to understand how to operate. But like for this, you can actually just bypass the like these. You'd be able to bypass these doors because he'll just have access. He works here. Um so I think that'd be pretty fun. Maybe I even work on that on some point on a stream. Because, like, I'm constantly swapping between projects, too. Like, I'll do a little bit of the Doom, and then I'll do a little bit of another one, and then another one, and then I'll go back to the Doom one. I've started working more on Perfect Dark ones as well, but Perfect Dark's a lot more limited, unfortunately, just due to how complex the editor is with it. So, that one I do whatever I can, but it's not much, unfortunately. Usually when I do a mod on Goldeneye, if it's limited, it's because I've put a limit on myself on how much I do with the mod. But for Perfect Dark, it's just limited on, like, there's just so much stuff that you need to, like, tweak and, like, work on. There we go, got him eventually. Funny enough, what I could do as well is some weapons like this, I could actually have negative zoom. So he's actually, like, has worse aim with it. At some point, I'm going to be streaming through a mod I've made for Perfect Dark. I haven't really shown off too much of it yet, but that is one that I have mostly completed. But I'll save that for a later stream, just so I can fully showcase that. But on that note, like 3 hours for a stream, that's pretty good. I appreciate everyone that's kind of tuned in today. This is really fun. I like doing these little editor and like chill streams. So I'll close out of this because I got nothing else in there. And I'll probably hop off here. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day. If I don't do, I should be doing more streaming stuff, but if I don't see you, or I don't hear from you or anything like that, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Y'all take care. Bye bye.